First of all, get on your 480p glasses. You already know. Blazblue CS1. So I'm going backwards, right? So right now, Blazblue Central Fiction is out. It's popping. That shit is popping. It has rollback on PC. You love to see it. But instead of starting in the present, we must review history because we must not forget. And while Blazblue has become like one of those this happens to a lot of fighting games where while the game is coming up, people are like, yeah, fuck this game first class, blah, blah, blah. We talked about it forever. Eventually it grows into something wonderful, right? And that's looked on with a very positive energy, which is BBCF. We went through, in my opinion, basically the most important characters in BBCT, the original version of the game. So of course we must move to BBCS1 because normally, you know, people will always complain about any type of game, right? Any game, people will complain. BBCT is a pretty fucking stupid game. So when people complain about BBCT, it was all legit. And they came out with the sequel, Blazblue Continuum Shift. And I'm going to take this opportunity of, instead of talking about a top tier, I generally talk about like the top tiers, the meta characters, and occasionally I'll mix in like other characters for specific reasons. Today, we're going to talk about the main character of this game, Ragna the Bloodedge, and we're going to start with this. This game came out in 2010. There I am. There's your boy with my axe. And who's that? Who the fuck is that? Who is that? Who the fuck is that? I don't know what month is it. Maybe this is October. A t-shirt and a scarf. Is young SKD, I would say, versus... How thick am I this year? I don't know. Let's say like 1C. Ragna the Bloodedge. So, this brings an interesting problem that this happens in modern fighting games, but I don't think it happens as much. Where Ragna was considered S tier when this game came out. By the end of the game, he was probably at best A-, at worst B tier. And this is what I used to call it the Ragna syndrome. But basically what happens is a new game comes out, gamers complain. They're like, oh my god, this guy's so easy. Oh my god, he does so much damage. Oh my god, you probably heard this one. This character is broken, right? You hear that a lot. And the main reason why this happens is, one, of course, gamers like to complain. Two, is the character is easy. Right? The character is easy. He's the main character. He's made to be easy. And a lot of because he's so straightforward, a lot of people are very combo focused, combo driven. They will find his tactics really quickly compared to other characters. I'm playing as SKD here. I'm playing Lychee. This character is rated S tier for the entirety of the game, right? For the entirety of the game. Instead of going down, because the tiers kind of moved a little bit in this game. Some characters went down, some characters went up. She kind of went up over time because people kept finding more and more things. She's a technical character. So over the course of like a year and a half, people are like, oh, she could do this. Oh, she could convert this here. Oh, she has this secret mix up. It's not really obvious. She has a bunch of stuff. Where Ragna, people are like, oh, well, you reach the peak of Ragna within like a month, and then people are spending the entire rest of the version finding counterplay to Ragna. So let's look at it. This version of Ragna is strong, but his thing is like, everyone in this game is ridiculous. A lot of characters in this game are super, super, super strong. I'm personally only going to be talking about the standouts, but like, for example, I'm not going to talk shit about Arakune this version, even though I love talking shit about Arakune because I don't respect the character. But in this game, he's kind of like, it's Arakune, but like, he is far from the worst offender in this version of the game, right? Is a really good example because there's characters like Lychee, Tao, and even the characters that were considered bottom tier had really, really good stuff. I actually don't excuse people. I'll give Noel, but like, even the weakest characters had strong stuff in this game. It's just that the top characters are so out of control to the point where, like, I would say like the best character, DLC character named Valkyrie, Triple S. Probably lowest tier is like, I wouldn't go under B-. I had to find my notes on this game from the past, but I probably wouldn't go under B- for this game. We're going to dig into Ragna specifically a little bit. So both these characters actually are basically the poster boys for Blazblue in general. Ragna, I don't even want to call him a soul equivalent because like he doesn't have a command grab. Like he really is, I poke you, I jump in, he's got an overhead. Right, 6B overhead. On console, not that scary. In arcades, pretty fucking scary. Arcade lags. In this version of the game, his big like special thing is he has an install super. It's called Blood Cane, which you'll probably see because SKD likes Blood Cane. In current BlazBlue, I think it's his overdrive, so it's not like a super. In this version, it's just a super that he could just do. He could just do it, and you will get the meter to do this shit for sure. It's like the combo, your combo cash out, your esports combo super. That's what you're trying to do here. We'll see if he does it. He has a bunch of unique situations too. BlazBlue has a unique knockdown system where you can choose to roll, you could choose to delay tech. You had like a lot of control on how you got up. It was extremely unpopular when the game came out. In CT, to be fair, in CT it was kind of stupid, like what you could do with the rolls. But by CS1 they fixed how you used to be able to like special cancel out a roll and stuff. So they took all that shit out the game, and the system ended up becoming pretty robust, and a lot of people who played the game developed reliable setups. It's kind of weird. Like, people will say they don't like knockdown vortex stuff, and then when a game gives you stuff that's like, oh, this is how you get out of knockdown vortex stuff, people are like, that's just cheap. That's just stupid. There's no knockdown. Like, what the fuck's the point? you really can't please fighting game players, right? What ended up happening over time, just people bought out the shit from the other characters. Because one thing about this game is that you may or may not have noticed, I'll try to point out some examples, is the combo conversion ability in this game is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. What a DP from Lord Drunken Chicken. It is really, really ridiculous. And the main offender, there's two main offenders. I don't think Ragna has one of them, but he definitely has the other. One is wall bounces. So a few characters have stuff that wall bounce on counter hit as opposed to wall bound. These are two different things. And number two is moves that knock you down that you can OTG pick up. So you can combo people who are on the ground. So a bunch of characters in the game have this, right? They have, say, like 3C into pickup. Ragna has a special move that specifically picks you up off the ground. He grabs you right there, which you can extend combos with various ways. You can do mix-ups with it. A lot of characters have that, and it's why the combos were so ridiculous. And the main complaint about this version of BlazBlue, the main like early game complaint, is the combos are too long. And it's mostly because of how the combo system works. You know, I've done a bunch of character retrospectives, reviews of past characters, and normally I'm like, oh shit, look at this like bullshit situation, right? You're not gonna hear me say that basically ever for this version of Ragna, because he really is just a normal guy, dude. Like, he really poor Ragna. Like, in the story, everyone hates him. Every version when the game comes out, everyone hates him. Like, my dude just can't catch a break, bro. It's just Ragna. It's just Randy. You know what I'm saying? What did he ever do to us? SKD has just DP'd, jumped in, done a couple of frame traps. Like, there's no, he's being a normal guy. This thing has not changed. he's just doing his best. He really is out here doing his best with normal ass moves. So here he got a 3C in the combo, so he's gonna be able to pick up in the middle of the combo and go for offense. That's pretty good. You know, he's got an overhead. It's 22 frames. It's fast. It's fast-ish. You know, knockdown. My man's rolled out the corner. It's like no cheap set play. You know, playing some neutral. Both these characters, Jin too. Both these characters, but people tend not to complain about Jin right away. It's kind of interesting. Jin usually is good, mostly because he fights a lot of the characters that are cheap well. He's kind of like Kai in that regard. We're like, Ragna, man, like, look at him. My dude's just out here kicking. I really can't say any BS has happened at all. A lot of the counterplay people had is like defend his overheads well, deal with 5B, because the big one was his 5B was really big, but there's a bunch of counterplay by character. You can jab them. Some characters would aim to go over it. Some characters are like, well, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna go out here. Carl exists. Like, what do you have to deal with when you fight Ragna? His buttons, his pressure, which is like okay, and then comeback factor because of Bloodcade. So comeback factor is probably the absolute scariest thing he has, I would say. Comeback ability with Bloodcade. And like in a lot of the games, like if you're winning, like, you know, you can use that meter on other stuff like DP. I guess there's that tier of people thinking DPRC is cheap, but that shit has been forever. You know what I mean? Another thing you can say about this version too, damage. But again, this is a high damage version of the game. Like, everyone's doing esports combos in this version because of the aforementioned combo things, the wall bounces and the off the ground pickups in this version, which they end up changing in the future. This happens to him every single version. Poor Ragna. In modern day fighting games, main characters are pretty good, but Ragna, man, my dude's just normal. There's no shit talk about how cheap Ragna is in this video. We respect Ragna players. Truly an honest character. Do you guys have any questions about Ragna?